Good rising. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Indigo Room. Good rising chat. It's Sunday, 11 a.m. All right, I just have to share this on the Facebook regions. Good rising, good Sunday rising. Some sage for everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful morning and a good week. For some, this is the end of the week, and for others, this is the beginning of the week. So, I think I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. I just have to check to make sure all the bells and whistles are where they're supposed to be. Oh, my mind. All right, let me get to the Indigo Room. Okay. I can share this stream. Just going to give everybody a little chance to get in the chat. This up. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. We're live. All right. Why can't I find it live on my Facebook? Is it live on Facebook? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. All right. Okay. All right. Now I think I'm okay. Oh. Hello. Good rising. Ooh. Sometimes your bells and whistles don't work the way you would like them to. Okay. I am. All right, so today's topic is, are you an indigo adult? And the reason why we want to discuss this is because I'm an indigo adult, and I started the Indigo Room because I found out that I was an indigo, and I wanted to bring indigos together at the time in 2007. I think that's when, 2007 is when the show started, and in 2007 is when I found out that I was an indigo. Not an indigo child, but an indigo. So we want to talk about that today. If you have any questions, if you're an indigo child who became an indigo adult, you grew up. It's been 12 years since we started. So if you were 12 years old back then, and you're 24 years old right now, and you are an indigo. So we want to talk about that. We want, because some of us think we're crazy. Some of us feel like, we're little nuts. And that's usually the case because we don't fit into the norm. Okay, let's see. Is the chat open? Yes. Okay. So I have one person watching now. Hi, one person in YouTube. Okay. So here's some sage. Sage for everybody. So we're streaming today, Sunday. Happy Sunday. We're streaming today across four different mediums, and today I just wanted to chat about being an indigo and what that entails. And no, you're not crazy. I know it feels like you're crazy sometimes. I know I feel like I'm crazy sometimes because we don't fit the norm of what society decides is normal. And I wanted to just chat about some indigo traits that are. Hi, Nicole Braggs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to talk about some indigo traits that many of us have, and we're told, you know, that we feel entitled or that we're crazy, or we don't know the things that we know, and we can't have the things that we have. We all came here from the blue realm, so sometimes when you meditate, you may experience being someplace else. I know a lot of people say that they are that when they meditate, they experience being someplace else. Sometimes when you meditate, I know that happens for me as an indigo. I go home. That may sound a little crazy, but if you're an indigo, it probably doesn't sound crazy to you. I go home. I go home, and home is the blue realm where we come from. And that message was conveyed to me in 2007. There was a whole big message that was conveyed to me in 2007. Oh, I forgot to bring the message over. I'm going to have to go get it. There was a message that was conveyed to me in 2000. Sit. Cleopatra always has to get in the video. Somehow she has to get in the video. There was a message that was conveyed to me in 2007 about what was getting ready to happen. And I've carried that around with me for the longest time because when I received the message, I, of course, thought I was nuts and thought the message was crazy. Why do you have to come over here, right here? Crazy girl. Go over there and sit down. Sit down over there. She got to get right underneath my feet and just walk. She has to walk. She likes when we talk about this subject because she's part of that realm. Anyway, let me go get the message and then I can read it to you. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to go get it. But this, if you look at this message, is really beat down. It's old. It's 12 years old. And I've kept it. And I've walked around with it for 12 years. And I feel like now that some of you are grown adults, you might understand it. And you might not have any trepidations about what people think about you anymore. And the message came in 2007. I'm just going to read some of it because some of it was personal and some of it was for you all. And it said, a great gathering of indigos is in place. Now, many of you came into the planet probably in the early 70s, late 60s. And on forward. And then there were crystal children that came in after you and rainbow children. But there's a great gathering of indigos in place. And a great gathering, a calling forth. The time has come for there to be a shifting of awareness. And many of you know that. Many of you know that. Many of you are aware of that. Many of you know that you're different. Many of you feel different. Many of you move different. Many of you have, we're going to go over some traits that indigos have and that indigo adults have. If you are not aware of it, if somebody never talked to you about it, we're going to talk about that a little bit this morning. And says the time has come for there to be a shifting of awareness. You will be one, it was talking about me, who will assist in this gathering. Hey, good rising, Jackie. Good rising. You just finished work. Well, good afternoon to you. So I'll just listen. Hi. That's okay. And it says that the message was coming to me that I would be one who would assist in the gathering and letting those from the indigo blue realm to become more aware of who they really are. And I fell down on my mission. So I'm getting back up, and I'm calling all of you indigos, you indigo children and indigo adults, to make yourself known. So I'm here to assist you to become more aware of who you really are, and you will bring great change. This is what was told to me in 2007. That the group of indigos would bring great change. And it says in the way that our world is currently experiencing ourselves. And in 2007, we just, we didn't really have the technology that we have now. That was when the smartphone started. 2005 is when Facebook and MySpace, were doing their thing back and forth. And then Facebook blew up, and smartphones blew up in 2007, 2008. And I was told that indigos would change the way the news is formulated. They will change the economy, and they will be inclusive. So I don't know where you all are. Well, y'all got work to do. So do I. And they are the color of love, indigos. And it said the gathering has begun and is coming forth because it cannot help but to do so. And there is a wave. The wave is growing. Just allow yourself to be the one you have come to be in this. So I know that there are a lot of you that maybe put stuff down. I know I did. I had to come back and get myself together with my spiritual work and my journey and my mission for why I came to the planet. So some of you may have a mission as well, and you just fell down, and so I'm calling on you all. I'm calling on you indigo children. I'm calling you indigo adults to come back to whatever it was that the mission that you had when Robin is in the house. Wow. Hi, Robin. Hello, Robin. Whatever the mission was that you had when you decided to take the journey to come to the planet. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the traits, and if you are a light bearer or you have been told that you were an indigo, or you just sense it, you sense something is off, you're not crazy. I just want to let you know you're not crazy. You just are different than everybody else. And you came here to help the planet and to help us move into the next journey, the next step in our journey, the next realm. A lot of you feel like you're old souls. You feel like you've been here before. You have a strong, very strong urge to shift society, to change society, to change how, think about it. The Bitcoin came along. I don't know who created that, but I remember when the Bitcoin came along and I was like, oh boy, this is the shift. This is what's starting to happen. This is some of the shift and the change that is happening. And you may also feel like a star child or a star seed, or you've been called so many different things, right? You've been called so many different things. So we're going to talk a little bit about the traits. And if you don't know any of the traits of being an indigo, you should by now. If you're an adult, you should by now. There's quite a few of them. And I know a lot of times people used to say they walk by light bulbs and they would burst and lights would come on. And I never had that experience. I have had other experiences, but definitely not that. But that may be your experience. I don't know. But I do know that a lot of indigos have a lot of spiritual gifts that maybe you're not even aware of or you're not using. And I want to encourage you to use them and to hone your skills. Hey, Robin. Welcome back, Robin Shia. I want to encourage you to practice your skills, to find out what they are. Open your third eye. Do more meditation if you're not doing that. Connect with nature. Get into nature. Ground yourselves. Sometimes we can be so, off in the ethers that we forget to do that. But some of the traits of an indigo are that you're very strong-willed. Okay? You're a passionate person. And even though everybody's telling you, don't do that, 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 you're going to do it. And you're going to find a way. You're going to keep going no matter what the situation brings forth. And a lot of us are old souls. I know I have been here, I can't even tell you how many times. And I'm what you call an indigo scout. I'm the person that comes here and finds y'all and helps with your transition, helps with your moving into your spiritual gifts, helps with all of that. And I've been falling down and I got Wicky Wacky, so I'm back here. And hi, Brianna. Hi, my little sister. And Carrie Ann. Hello. Hi, Bree Bree. But you are an old soul. You have a sense of, you just know. You come in, you ever see a kid who comes in? I met this little boy the other day. I know he's a crystal child. He's 6 years old. And I saw him walking on Lincoln Plaza. I was there for a concert. And I saw him and he saw me, and my sister brought him to my attention, and immediately I connected with this young one. You may find as an adult that you have younger ones who immediately connect with you, like they make eye contact with you. And they know who you are. They're trying to get you to remember who you are. Anyway, he and I, we immediately connected. Immediately. And he tells us that he's looking for this time-space continuum. It was nighttime. And he's looking up in the sky and he's pointing to it. And he's telling us about black holes. He was 6. Okay? His mom was like, I don't know what to do with him. And he was going on and on and on about the time-space continuum shift. And he knew who I was. And I knew who he was. You know how I know he knew? Because he was standing, there's a big water fountain in front of Lincoln Plaza. And he stood up on this platform that's encircles the fountain. And he jumped off of it leaped right into my arms, and I caught him. He knew that I would. Nobody else would do that. Um, so you will find that there will be children, there will be young ones who are still connected, still haven't lost their connection, who immediately will remind you of who you are. And they know that you don't know, or they know that you know who they are. And so check when you see a young one and they look directly into your eyes, speak to them. I mean, if their mother lets you speak to them. I mean, don't run up to kids and start talking to kids, and then, their mother gets all crazy, or their father, they call the police on you. That's not what I'm saying. Don't do that. But be aware that they are trying to get you to remember what you came here to do. So as a young one, you may have acted like an old person. Just like this little one who I met. You're also non-conformist. I know for me, I'm very headstrong, and everybody says that it's attributed to me being a Taurus, the bull. No, it's not. It's attributed to me being an indigo. Okay, so I have a little bit of Taurus mixed up in there, and that might, be the reason. But most indigos, the majority of you, are very strong-willed, non-conforming. You don't take authority very well. So you may find it hard sometimes to keep a job or to stay in a position because you have this, you want to see things work. You want to see things work for everybody. You want to see systems that work for everybody. You could be in a position in a company and they are just out of date, and you keep bringing your awareness and your knowledge to show how things can work better, and nobody's hearing you. And that makes you angst, gives you angst, makes you angry, because you can't understand it. Hey, Jess. Avo. Hi, Avo. Are you an indigo? Jess, are you an indigo? So you do find that the energy of an indigo is very different, and they, like I said, they like to figure out ways to make things operate better, and always seeking truth. Like, people can't lie to you, or they try to, and you get a feeling, you get a sense, you have an idea, you kind of know. And usually you have a way of finding that the truth always comes to the light. You could sit back, you could be quiet, you could be mindful, but when somebody is not telling you the truth. When politicians are not speaking truth. When things are not okay. So if you have that kind of ability, you may be an indigo. Very intuitive. You're very highly intuitive. You use your intuition. You follow your intuition. Hi, Rain. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Robin. Sorry, I was busy talking, not looking at the chat. I was not looking at the chat. Sorry, I apologize. Rain in the house. Rain says, sounds like me, my mother's aide. She used to look at me as a child and wonder what I was pondering at such a young age. Yeah. She might have been an indigo scout, or maybe she was just curious and just didn't care, but you will find that you are very intuitive. And I want to encourage you all, if you are an indigo and you're finding that you have these traits, to really start focusing on using your intuition. Really start focusing on listening to what your intuition is telling you. And what do I mean by that? You will get a gut feeling. You will get a feeling. You'll get a knowing about something. And then you want to change direction. You want to do something. And you get a little nervous. And you may say, well, I don't know if I could do this. I can't, blah, 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 blah. But that's just society help from around us, giving us all kinds of noise. Follow your intuition. Follow your gut. Trust yourself. You came here with knowledge and knowing and understanding, and you have to start trusting yourselves. You really do. It's important. It's important for indigos to start to make sure that they trust themselves. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you the assistance that you need as much as I can. But you have to start really trusting your intuition. So if you know that you know that you know, trust it. That's part of your gift. It's part of who you are. Okay? Also, the traits of an indigo is that they want to change the world. This is what we try to do in the Indigo Room. You are light bearers. You came here to help shift the awareness of what is happening on the planet. You came here to do the work. It's important that you do. Because deep in your heart, you know that you are the creative force, and that you know that you are. You know that you have this, you know that you have this within you. And indigos are empaths. You can't be an indigo without being an empath. But if you're an empath, it doesn't mean that you're an indigo. You could be something else. But if you're an indigo, you're an empath. Period, point blank. You cannot be either or. You're always going to be both. And you feel it. And it takes you out sometimes. And it may lay you out sometimes, feeling so many people's energy. And what you want to do is give yourself time to ground yourself. Ground your energy. Put your feet in Mama Pacha, right? Stand outside. Ground yourself. Stand next to a tree. Ground yourself. Put your back up against a tree and just, wrap your arms around and put your feet down in the not with your shoes on. Take your shoes off. And just ground yourself. And that will help you. That will help you to release some of the Wicky Wacky that you're picking up from other people. You also may be a loner, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm a loner. I spend more time by myself. And some people say, well, you got to get outside. People used to tell me that all the time. I was like, for what? I'm fine. I'm quite happy in here. Hi, Christina. I'm quite happy in here where I am by myself. I'm good. I enjoy my own company. You may too. That doesn't mean that you hate other people outside. It just means that you enjoy your own company. Rain said, yes, I've always wanted to and still do change the world. I soak up everything around me, so I practice grounding. That's important. So these are some of the traits. So if you're recognizing some of the traits that I'm speaking about, probably you're an indigo. There's other ways to recognize these traits, but yeah, you would be an indigo. You don't have to be around a billion people. And besides, when you're around a billion people, it makes you angst. It gets you anxious because you're an empath on top of being an indigo energy, and you're picking up all of that stuff. You're picking it up. So don't feel bad about the fact that you like to be alone, and don't let people make you feel any kind of way about that. Being alone is not a bad thing. Sometimes, people say, well, oh, aren't you so lonely? I'm not. I enjoy my own company. I love it. I love my own company. I enjoy being by myself. I don't mind not, I just don't. I'm never bored. Never. Because I always have something that I'm focused on. I always have something that I'm creating. I talk to spirit. When I put that meme up about me talking to spirit, if you see me talking to myself, I'm probably talking to spirit or my guides, or that's me having a staff meeting. That is the truth. It's the truth. So as you are understanding who you are, it's really important to allow yourself to have that solitary time anyway. It's really important to have that solitary time. You're also, a lot of you are very highly creative, and you don't think that you are, which is really disconcerting. You are creative. I know I've met some indigos, Cleopatra, and we got motorcycles and Cleopatra happening. This is what happens when we're home. I'm not in a live studio with quiet, so you're going to hear Cleopatra. That's just it. That's just how she's been on the Indigo Room for 12 years. 12 years she's been doing it. Okay? Woo! What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying because the barking started happening. Oh, that you're very creative. Very, 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 very creative. Extremely. One time in my meditation, I went back home, and you guys may go back to the Blue Realm often. You may go back to that when you're doing your meditation. And I saw so many of you doing so many things, creating so many things. It was amazing. It was mathematicians. There was people who were creating plants, and it was amazing. So you are builders, you sing, you love to dance, you draw. There's even math is creative. You have a creative energy, you have a creative flair, you create things easily. It's not difficult for you. Okay, so if you came here with those types of don't discount your creativity. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Don't discount your creativity. I remember when I used to sing, and my family used to laugh at me. I have a beautiful voice. I can sing. But the laughter of them and the ridicule of them made me silence my own voice for years because I believed it. It's like, okay, maybe I can't sing. It wasn't true. So you do want to understand that you have creativity. So if you have all of these traits, you are probably an indigo. All of these traits that I'm mentioning, you are probably an indigo. All of them. You have all of these traits. Okay? You can't have some of them. You have all of them. You also have a really, really interesting connection with nature and animals. Just like Bay Street flew into my life. Hey, Beth. Hi, Beth. Bay Street flew into my life. That's my bird. She's my bird now. Just out of the blue. Well, nothing's out of the blue, but it was out of the blue for me. Or it seemed like it was out of the blue. There are no coincidences. But she flew into my life and she landed on my shoulder. After she landed on my cousin's back, she walked up my hand. I told you the story, and landed on my shoulder and has been with me ever since. It's going on 2 years now. Hi, Debbie. It's going on 2 years now. So you have a definite connection, like Rain. She has this amazing connection with horses. So does Linda. You have an amazing connection with nature and animals. Animals come to you. Animals are not afraid of you. They know who you are. Hi, hi, hi. Animals are not afraid of indigos. They know who you are. And they come to you. I have another friend, Sierra, who has this amazing connection with dolphins and whales. They just show up for her. They just show up for her, no matter what. So there may be something that, helps you to remember who you are. If you are feeling like you want to do something in nature, you want to be in nature, you want to work in nature, you want to work with animals, do that. Because there's a reason. You made an agreement. You have an agreement, and you made an agreement to help this planet move and open up and shift the awareness, and we all got to get back to our jobs. We all got to get busy. And you are a spiritual person. You're not religious. And if you are in a religion, you probably are getting kicked out like me. Because they can't take you. You're always asking why. That's a big thing about indigos. They always question everything. I used to drive my parents crazy with the why. Why? How come? With the questions, always with the questions. You're very inquisitive. It's not just being a kid that you're asking these why questions. I used to ask, why are we Jehovah's Witnesses? I don't understand. How are we Jehovah's Witnesses? What does that, I don't get it. I used to get, popped in the mouth quite a bit. But I was always asking that question. Sharon said, yes, you can sing. I can sing. I absolutely can sing, but I've silenced my voice for years because I believed other people in my family who said I couldn't sing, and that was not the truth. Look at my hair. The shrinkage is real. I washed my hair this morning, and now it's shrinking up to my scalp. Rain said, yes, this is truth about animals and my relationships with them. Hey, Wanda. Hello, Indigo family. I'm at work at the hospital today. What days are you off so I can make the show so you have a day off? I can make the show on your day off. What day are you off, Wanda? Because every time we do a show, you're at work, my friend. I want to do a show when you're not at work. I want to do a show when you're not at work. So, Rain said, oh my God, I'm an indigo. I want to know it all. You just now realizing you're an indigo, Rain, after we talked about this how many years ago? 12 years ago? Remember when I first started the Indigo Room, and it was started because we were indigos? I was talking about being an indigo. Wanda said, I work almost every day. Okay. All right, well, damn it. I'll just keep trying. I'll figure it out eventually. So, yeah, if you're an indigo and you're in religion, you probably are in the middle of being kicked out of religion. I'm going to turn this air conditioner on. Hold on a minute. It's hot in my living room. You are probably being kicked out right now if you're in any type of religion, or you are battling the idea or the concept of it, because um, it doesn't make sense to you. Religion just doesn't make any kind of sense to you whatsoever. Like, I know for me, it used to drive me insane. I could not wrap my mind around being a Jehovah's Witness. I used to, and then I started feeling bad. I used to pray that my father would leave the Jehovah's Witness religion. I used to pray. One time, as a kid, I prayed to Satan. No lie. I was like, Satan, please, I know, God, you don't like this, but Satan, please stop my father from being a Jehovah's Witness. Because I knew if my father would stop being a Jehovah's Witness, then everything else would crumble and we would all leave. I used to beg. I hated being a Jehovah's Witness when I was young. Hated it. And then I got kicked out when I was in my 20s. They kicked me out. Wanda says she's either at the studio or hospital, but I love it. Okay. Well, see, when you're at the studio, sometimes then you at least could, I could hear your voice, or I could, but when you're in the ER, you can't call in. But in the studio, you can call in sometimes. Rain says, but I felt like I couldn't be that special. I was a lack of worthiness to accept who I am. Whoa, just realizing this right here and now. You just realizing this. Well, welcome, honey. It's good to have you back home. Good to have you back in the Indigo as an Indigo. She just now realized her work that she's an Indigo. And here's the other thing about Indigos. Unfortunately, it's part of our makeup. I don't even want to say unfortunately. For others, it's unfortunate because they look at us because we tend to come off arrogant. It's not that we're arrogant, but we know what we know. We know who we are, and we know that we're kind of royalty. We walk around here on the planet like we're kings and queens because we are. Literally. Literally. Debbie said, my niece was a witness, joined when she was 20, and quit 35 years later. Now she says, what was I thinking? Woo! I don't know. Yeah, what was she thinking? That's a I am going to do some videos on Jehovah's Witness religion, because I know that there's some Indigos that are in that thing and they're locked up in there and they may not understand how to get out. So I'm looking for y'all. I'm looking for all of you Indigos that are on the planet. I'm calling you out. I'm calling on you to rise up and stand in your power, stand in your fabulosity, stand in your royalty, stand in your knowing. Wanda says, I knew I was an Indigo back in the days of wondering why the sun and moon was up there. Yes! I used to wonder about time. I was like, well, who came up with the idea of time? What's up with that? Where did that come from? That used to make my brain hurt when I was a kid. Also, too, you may hear sometimes, like, I've been hearing this since I was a kid. And I used to ask my parents about it. And they never heard it. But you may hear, like, it's like a background buzz. I can't even explain it. When we were young, we used to have TVs that had the crystal tubing in them. And when you turn the TV on, the TV would make this noise, like when it's heating up. Sometimes you will hear that, and it's like a very, very, very high pitched sound. And nobody else can hear it except kids. Kids can hear it. Anybody under the age of like 35, 30, maybe even 40 sometimes can hear it. It's like a very high. They say that this sound is what they use for kids in for curfew, to get them to move, because it really hurts your ears. You may hear that too occasionally. Rain said, yes, I didn't want to make others feel small. That's how I felt. Yeah, but you know what? You're not making other people feel small by accepting the truth of who you are, right? And I know that feeling. I know what you're talking about. People used to make me feel small all the time because I let them. You know, I was like, well, you know, I'm going to let them be who they are, you know. And I know who I am. I'm going to let them be who they are. And, you know, I wouldn't stand in my power. But this 12-year journey of actually finding out that I was an indigo, and then, you know, moving into that, and then stepping off, and then moving back into that, I know who I am. I know where I came from. I know what I'm supposed to do here. And I'm here. I'm back. I'm standing in my indigo queenness. And that's my, actually in Second Life, that's my name, Indigo Queen Zamani. Wanda says, but in adulthood, I started questioning why God would not save a person who had not proclaimed his name. That gave me insomnia, just the thought of it. Yes, just the thought of it. She's like, just the thought of it. Wanda says, I know that exact sound you are describing. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm not crazy. Because for years I would hear that sound. For years. Nobody else around me would be hearing that sound. And I used to say, y'all don't hear that? Mom, that sound. What, do you hear that? And she was like, no. I don't know what you're talking about. Wanda said, I used to wonder why I had these experiences and others thought I was crazy. Absolutely. Listen, I have the title of in my family of being a wacko. A wackadoodle. Always have. Always. My father used to call me that. His friends used to call me that. Because I was just different. And, you know, as a young person, when you're surrounded by people who are absolutely don't have a clue how you operate, how you function, you tend to shut down. You tend to hold it in and, you know, not let your light shine, and not when you don't know and you don't have anybody that's guiding you and you don't have a clue what's happening, what you're doing, how you rolling. Like, I used to have dreams when I was a kid. Now I remember. I didn't remember when I was an adult. It used to scare the hell out of me. But I used to have dreams when I was a kid of being somebody else in a different time. I was like, what is that? And, you know, who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to tell? You're going to tell your mama and father? Because as a Jehovah's Witness, they were scared of all of that kind of stuff. As a Jehovah's Witness, none of that was of the devil. So, of course, I was Satan's spawn. All of that was of Satan, was the devil. So I used to pray to the devil. I was like, well, if God's not going to help me, maybe the devil will take my father out of the Jehovah's Witness religion. That was my crazy mind thinking. Devil to me does not exist. The devil is within you. You know, we are light and dark all at the same time. So, hi Angie. Hello Angie. But anyway, those are some of the traits of being an indigo, having indigo energy. If you go online, you'll probably be able to find some more that you can connect with. I know for me, I try not to go online, you know, and look for those kinds of things, and don't take those indigo tests. I hate those, because they're trying, what those tests do is try to put you in a box, and you can't really be put in a box as an indigo, as a crystal, as a rainbow child. And what those tests do is say, if you're this, and this, then you're an indigo. That's conformity, and we ain't with that. So I'm not with that. And also, you're not better than anybody, but you are different. And maybe a little better. Maybe a little better. So you want to step into your energy, step into that. You can email me at the indigoroom2@gmail.com for additional help, or you can join my coaching program that we're getting ready to run and start. I'll be coaching indigos. Yeah, it's going to cost you a little money, because, you know, we got to pay for the bells and whistles to keep things going around here. But it's not going to be a lot. You also do want to make sure that you are taking the time as an indigo to meditate and get quiet and bring yourself some, all indigos should have some sage around at all times. I'm just saying. Sage, Palo Santo wood, you should have that. That should be a staple in your house. That should be a staple in your life. I don't care if you don't like the way it smells. I don't care. Burn it. Okay? You got to clear some of the energies that's around you, especially if you've been in toxic environments. Burn it. Wanda said, this is the reason I stayed in an unfulfilling relationship for decades, because he wasn't present, so he didn't pay attention to the difference in me as long as I was able to meet his basic needs of food and shelter. Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad you moved out of that. You know, I'm glad you moved out of that. A lot of indigos right now are probably shifting and changing and moving into, okay, you're on your last bundle. Are shifting and changing and moving into new consciousness, if you're allowing yourself to, and are stepping up their game and removing themselves from relationships, businesses, companies, jobs that are just toxic and no longer serving them. They're stepping up and stepping out. Well, I hope that you are, because that's what's happening to me. I'm stepping up, stepping out, and I'm calling all indigos to step up and step out too. Step into your power, step into your awareness, step into your truth of who you are. So those are some of the traits of being an indigo. You're nonconformist. You don't handle authority well. Um, you're peaceful, but you do get angry sometimes at some of the systems that the antiquated systems that are running rampant, and you want to change those things. You're here to change. You're here to be a creative changer. You're a light bearer. You're very intuitive. Follow your intuition. Make sure you trust your gut. I don't care if you think it's leading you someplace that you don't want to be. Follow your gut. Trust yourself. Start to trust yourself, because you're being guided. You're being moved. We need you more than ever to step up and step into the truth of who you are. So I want to thank you for joining me today. Indigos do attract narcissists because we're empaths, unfortunately, if they're not aware. That's absolutely true. We do. And again, if you're an indigo, you're an empath. But if you're an empath, it doesn't mean that you're an indigo. And indigos do attract narcissists. So I do want to thank you all for joining me today here in the Indigo Room. Please thumbs up the video. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Rain said, Sid, do we just email you for info on coaching? As a coach, I take on so much and need a space like that. Yes, yes, yes. As an email. As a coach, sometimes coaches need coaches. So, as a matter of fact, I just had a conversation with another coach who, was experiencing what she was experiencing, and I was able to guide her. So, coaches need coaches. Absolutely. So you can email me at theindigoroom2@gmail.com, and, I'll be here for you. And, we can talk about the coaching program. But coaches need coaches. That's the truth of it. You can't be everything to everybody all the time. So, send me an email at theindigoroom2@gmail.com. Visit my new channel, Sydney Chase, on YouTube. And thumbs up the video, subscribe, and we'll be here on Wednesday night. We're discussing the I Am Discourses at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I love you. Bye. And Linda, we love you too. Linda's in Oregon. Well, she's almost there, I think. Yay! So we'll see you all on Wednesday. Love you all. Bye. Have a great day. Bye.